Thank you so much for joining today's media briefing. Once again, my name is Rich Madalino. I am the Chief Administrative Officer of the Montgomery County government. I'm filling in today for County Executive Mark Elrich, who, as you know, is on an international economic development trip right now. He has been to Taiwan. He's currently in India and will be returning at the end of the week. He will be on next week's media briefing, and I'm sure he's very much looking forward to it. While he has been abroad, we are thrilled to announce an agreement with a company that specializes in semiconductor technologies for satellite systems, space-based infrastructure, and semiconductor integration. Galaverse is the name of the company. They've signed an agreement with the county through the Economic Development Corporation. This partnership positions Montgomery County as a key hub for high-tech industries, including space communications and international collaboration, something a little bit different for a community that's usually known for its life sciences. This initiative has the potential to bring Galaverse's global semiconductor research, design, and manufacturing work to Montgomery County and Maryland. The agreement strengthens U.S. supply chains resilience and supports technology exchange with companies operating across the Asia-Pacific region. Collaborating with international businesses is, of course, strengthens the U.S. market and our local economy and helps attract new investment to our community. We in the county, with our state partners, play a critical role in helping small and expanding companies accelerate next-generation technology development. We are working to create a high-impact innovation hub connecting industry, academia, and government around new development, and, of course, at the University of Maryland Institute of Health Computing in North Bethesda. Meetings and agreements with international partners are a way that we create more highly skilled jobs in Montgomery County, and it's one of the reasons why the county executive, working with the Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, has been so engaged in international travel and recruitment, because obviously it's great to do business in the United States. It's even better to do business in Montgomery County, and because of our unique position within the nation, our incredible workforce, our location next to the nation's capital, it's a wonderful place to do business, and trying to recruit people to have their American operations either headquartered here, based here, because of the unique qualities that they find in Montgomery County, Maryland. So with that, I'm going to change direction slightly to bring in our guest for today, Kelly Groff, who is the president and CEO of Visit Montgomery. Starting next week, the Montgomery County Public Schools will be off for spring break. People might be looking for things to do in the region. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the exciting things that are starting next week with all things spring. And it is going to be starting, I think, 2 seasons of exciting activities that are occurring in our county and within this region. I'm sure everyone knows globally that Montgomery County, Maryland is celebrating its 250th anniversary this year. They might also know the country is also celebrating the 250th anniversary. So it's kicking off a range of activities that I'm sure is going to be bringing hundreds of thousands of visitors to our region to enjoy the unique events that are going to be happening here. Kelly is going to go over some of the things that are happening in Montgomery County and regionally, and how people can stay on top of those things, enjoy those things, recruit people to come into our community to enjoy those things, because this is a great place to not only to live, to work, but to play and enjoy. And she's going to talk about some of those exciting things that are coming up over the next few days, weeks, and months. Kelly.
Thank you, Rich. You're a great ambassador for Montgomery County. That's awesome. Thanks for the intro. I'll start with cherry blossoms. Everybody knows brings a lot of people to our regions. We're really excited. The peak is expected next week. So a lot of people go to the tidal basin to see the cherry blossoms, but we also encourage people to visit our Kenwood area, which has 1,200 cherry blossom trees. And then, of course, Brookside Gardens. They have their own cherry blossom trees and an amazing butterfly exhibit or experience, which is great for kids, which opens April 1st. So generally speaking, we're just really excited about this time of year because we welcome a lot of student groups to Montgomery County who are visiting DC and encouraging them to explore Montgomery County. So it's a really special time. So for our own residents, we always like to remind them of things to do here. Brighton Dam Azalea Garden, 22,000 azalea bushes over 5 acres. Those were all originally planted in 1959, so really fun to see that in like early May. We never forget our C&O Canal National Historical Park, hiking, biking, and just bird watching or just enjoying the outdoors. Now with spring coming and warmer weather, we're excited to see people come out into all the urban districts and urban areas we have in the county. So don't forget about Hip Flask in Bethesda, which is the rooftop bar at the Marriott Headquarters Hotel. The barge on the lake at Rio, anything at Rio is phenomenal. But the barge on the lake is at Copper Canyon Grill. And then the Tiki Bar at Marriott, Gaithersburg Marriott Washingtonian will also be opening. And we always like to remind people about the Crossvines, the bistro and the wine tasting at Crossvines, which is a very special place for Montgomery County. I'm going to move on to not so much things for kids, but more for adults, but kids are welcome in some of these locations. It's our Tastemakers Trail, which we launched in 2020. And it's a self-guided tour of the wineries, breweries, distilleries, meaderies, throughout Montgomery County, not just in the rural space, but in the urban space. Spring's an ideal time for people to go out and visit and support those businesses. A lot of those locations have food trucks, live music, so it's a lot of fun. And I'll just put a plug in, stay tuned. We are going to be launching a test narrated brewery tour and winery tour to the public in May. So stay tuned for that. In May, it's Go MoCo month. So National Tourism Week is in the month of May. National Tourism Week is just a reminder of the value and the impact of tourism in the global economy and local economies. And so new this year for that, we're going to launch a legacy pass, a MoCo legacy pass for America 250th and Montgomery County. So you'll be able to learn more about experiences in the county that help remind us of our history, like Josiah Henson Museum, Clara Barton, Glen Echo. So that'll be up and available all summer. And don't forget, download the app, visit MoCo, and you'll get updates on the app too about upcoming events. I'm going to highlight a couple events for April and May. I mentioned the butterfly experience. Again, that opens April 1 at Brookside. The film festival, I love it, Rich. The Gaithersburg Film Festival will be April 10th at the Arts Barn. Bethesda Film Festival, April 10th through 12th. Tacoma Park Silver Spring Earth Day Festival, April 12th at Sligo Creek Park. The Countryside Artisan Spring Studio Store, fabulous event out in the rural area of Montgomery County, April 17th to 19th. Countryside Artisan Spring Studio Tour. And then Montgomery County Green Fest on April 25th, which is at Black Rock Center for the Arts. And then coming up in May, the Gaithersburg Book Festival. Everybody loves the book festival. That's May 16th. And then our hometown holidays at Rockville Town Square will be Memorial Day weekend. So there will be a parade and big ceremonies for that. So to continue to follow what's happening in the county, visit Montgomery.com. And then for the app download, it's Visit MoCo. And the same applies for Instagram and Facebook. If you want to follow us and see what's happening, is Visit MoCo. So we're really excited to get our residents out in exploring, but also welcoming visitors from all over the country and some from all over the world, especially now during the cherry blossom season. And we're looking forward to a great summer.
Yes, we are. There are so many exciting things that are going to be happening within the county and around the region. Whether or not you want to enjoy a vineyard at one of the wineries or at Cross Vines, to get a rural experience at a beautiful location, out in Poolsville, a rooftop decks, as you outlined, rooftop places in Bethesda, in North Bethesda. You've got everything from, an IndyCar road race that's going to be happening downtown, fireworks everywhere, cherry blossoms blooming and exploding right now. So there are so many things to enjoy. And really, for families, many of them will be free for people to enjoy. So download the app. The app is amazing. I've got it right here. The app provides you so much information about activities, but about restaurants and shopping and things to do, that even for someone like myself who has lived in the county for pretty much my entire life, I learned about things. So, and Kelly, you can see how Visit Montgomery takes energy savings seriously. Her sensor went off because she was so focused on giving the message that she wasn't moving around too much. So, Kelly, thank you for going over all of that material. And again, I encourage people to download the app. With that, we'll throw it open to questions that people might have for Kelly Groff, who is an amazing resource. If there are reporters that do not know Kelly, you should know Kelly because of her amount of experience, institutional knowledge about all things Montgomery County, but especially about the hospitality industry in our county. So questions for Kelly.
Thank you, Rich.
Kelly, I'm just shocked.
That's okay. They're all on the website. Everybody's on the website.
Oh. All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much. And again, you're welcome to stay on and answer questions as they pop up later.
Thank you.
Moving on to a few things, a few other things. Yesterday, the County Council unanimously passed the County Values Act. The Values Act, which is Bill 326, establishes a county law governing how our county government interacts with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE. It aims to maintain community trust by clearly separating county services from federal immigration enforcement and emphasizing that judicial warrants are required for immigration enforcement. It reinforces our strongly held county values of equity, inclusiveness, dignity, and justice. And it will ensure that county facilities and property are not used to support civil immigration enforcement except under strict and defined conditions. In moving forward, we will be working to create and publish guidance on how departments should respond to ICE actions as required by the bill. We will be adopting policies consistent with this guidance, so that and initiating staff training and other protocols as required by the bill. So I want to emphasize this bill restricts ICE access to non-public areas of county facilities unless agents present a valid federal judicial warrant or there are exigent circumstances. It prohibits ICE from using county-owned or county-controlled parking lots, garages, or vacant lots for civil immigration enforcement activities, such as surveillance, staging, processing, detention, and vehicle storage. You'll be noticing as we work to install clear signage across county properties to identify what can and cannot be used for civil ICE immigration enforcement. So, and again, this bill also directs county staff to report unauthorized use of county property by ICE, requires the county to provide signage for private businesses who are interested in similar signage, and ensures compliance with federal law by allowing lawful exchange of information regarding immigration and citizenship status. It's clear that this is required now as ICE enforcement activities expand across our nation and within our region. Remember, ICE here out of the Baltimore field office, although we might be dealing with immigration officials, the staff of the Department of Homeland Security coming out of the Washington and office and Northern Virginia. So we are serious about making sure all of our residents feel safe enough to access community resources. Clearly, from the testimony that came up, there are many people who don't feel safe right now. And so we wanted to make sure we clarified all of that information, and the county executive is appreciative of the county council for taking this strong and swift action. Also, this past week, pleased to report that our WSSC water colleagues were able to make great progress on repairing a sewer main collapse in the Germantown area. A 30-inch sewer main operated by WSSC Water collapsed early Thursday morning near Germantown Elementary School on Liberty Mill Road. The top of the pipe failed, but fortunately, the flow continued to work through the pipe. So, and of course, all drinking water in the area remained safe and fully unaffected throughout the repair. Crews got there immediately. Washington Gas and Verizon staff also responded to deal with their infrastructure nearby. Progress to date, approximately 110 feet of 30-inch new sewer main have already been installed. The excavation site was backfilled with dirt on Monday, and the emergency work continued from Thursday to Monday. There was a small disruption at Germantown Elementary. The school opened on Monday. So we want to thank everyone for their patience. And certainly, if you're interested, there's plenty of information that WSSC Water has on their website, and they are continuing to put out through Nextdoor, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, it's critical to report any water issues. You can do so 24 hours, 7 days a week through WSSC Water at either their website, their WSSC Water mobile app, via their email address. It's very simple to remember: emergency call center, all one word, emergency call center at WSSCwater.com, or at their phone number, which is 24/7 monitored, 301-206-4002. So again, we thank WSSC Water for the quick response. And of course, we're thrilled at the progress that DC Water has made to fully fix the Potomac interceptor pipe. And we're so glad to see that they've moved on to remediation in the area, both where the overflow occurred and, of course, along the C&O Canal, where the wastewater had to be piped over several weeks while the construction work, repair work was underway. Kelly brought up the C&O Canal and the towpath, which is a gem for us from a parkland standpoint, from a visitor standpoint, and all of that will be repaired and certainly available to people during the spring. Also, as we end the month of March, Women's History Month comes to an end. Our Commission for Women has led a campaign to spotlight 31 amazing Montgomery County women making history. This is an opportunity to recognize visionary leaders whose work span includes community safety, education, health, arts, social justice, and youth empowerment. Each honoree has created a meaningful impact by expanding equity, strengthening community support systems, and uplifting marginalized voices. Together, they represent a shared commitment to services, compassion, and building a more just and connected Montgomery County. I would encourage everyone to look at the Commission for Women's social media posts on Facebook or X, highlighting each of these women. There's a great paragraph. You saw some of the images pop up before. Lots of information about these 31 amazing women, amazing people who have made a contribution to our county and continue to do so. And I want to remind everyone that the Girl Power Contest is open through the end of March. It's open to anyone, ages 5 and up. This year's question that we're asking anyone to fill out: women past and present have shown incredible real-life superpowers. Who inspires you, whether historical figure, family member, neighbor, or advocate? A reporter. And how did she use her powers to make a difference? Entries can be a poem, a short story, or a medium of your choice. Find more information at the Commission's website at montgomerycountymd.gov, CFWI, Commission for Women's Initiative, CFWI. So, I just want to leave with one final comment. Interesting, I had a conversation with some of the leadership of the Montgomery County Police Department. We were talking about the issue of DWIs and the fact that while I know the occasional homicide that occurs in Montgomery County gets more attention, more people are killed on our roadways every year than are certainly the victims of a homicide in our county. A fair amount of that, more than half of that, is due to driving while intoxicated. One of the issues that is, I think, fascinating, we have achieved an amazing level of more than 90% seatbelt use across our county. However, for some reason, seatbelt use declines at night when accidents go up. So just want to do a reminder, wear your seatbelts anytime you're getting in the car, especially if you're driving out to Crossvines, you're driving to one of these amazing rooftop decks, you're driving out to the azalea bushes to see in the Brookville area. So make sure you wear your seatbelt. With that, I'm happy to stop. We've got some of our HHS colleagues on the call, Dr. Bridgers, Sean, I don't know if you have anything to add for the health of the community.
Sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Madalino. Just one repeated message that we've shared over the past 3 weeks, almost a month now, with all of the international and national strife that's going on, either at the federal level or in the war in the Middle East. Help continues to be within reach regarding mental health support. We have our mobile crises outreach team. Please be mindful that our clinicians and our outreach teams are a diverse team. So we understand and recognize that there may be instances where some teams may seem that they aren't culturally appropriate. Please know that our skilled clinicians are trained to handle any situations across a diverse community. And I wanted to share that with the viewers this afternoon because there's been some concern. If in doubt, just ask. Call our crises outreach number at 240-777-4000, 240-777-4000. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And even if there aren't any mental health challenges, if you know a teen who may be suffering from substance use disorder, this is an opportunity to get the type and quality of help that you need. We have a walk-in crisis service center as well, and we offer community referrals. So help continues to be within reach. All you have to do is dial 240-777-4000. I will turn it over to Sean O'Donnell now for the health side of the health update.
Thank you, Dr. Bridgers. Just want to let folks know that we're seeing a slight increase in COVID material in wastewater. It has not, that has not turned into an increase in hospitalizations at this point, but we do know that there's a new variant going around the country and the world. So we're monitoring that. And I just want to remind folks that we continue to roll out the new Maryland vaccine program, and that's a program that offers free vaccines for adults who do not have insurance or their insurance doesn't cover vaccines. And that includes some COVID and some flu vaccine, as well as a number of other vaccines that if you had not received that as a child, we have it. Just want to remind folks that the number for our immunizations team is 240-777-1050. And again, the team's doing a great job of getting those vaccines out to adults who are uninsured. We also have our Vaccine for Children program, which is again provides vaccines to kids at no cost who are uninsured or underinsured. So just wanted to make that plug.
I don't know if there's anything you want to say, but we spent so much time talking about, all the amazing outdoor activities that are going to be happening this spring, with cherry blossoms and azaleas and so much in bloom, which means allergies too.
Yes, well, allergies sometimes can be, well, they can certainly be debilitating, and they can sometimes be a little confusing whether you have a cold or you have an allergy. I think most allergy folks are at this point they're aware of when their allergies hit. If they hit in spring, if they hit in later summer, and certainly when it is less humid out, those allergens spread all over the place and can really affect people. It can even affect them indoors if they have air coming in through the outside. So that can really be bothersome. But again, we hope people can enjoy the nicer weather and all the beautiful things out there. And we also wanted to just give a plug. I know we didn't have the call last week, but just for those who haven't heard, we updated our health advisory regarding recreation on the Potomac River. There still remains a health advisory for the immediate area around the Potomac Interceptor spill, the land that is being remediated now, as well as the shoreline from around Swainson Island down to Lock 8. And that's just out of an abundance of caution. The E. coli bacteria testing has all been relatively good. Sometimes it does spike above recreational safe levels, and that can happen just as there's precipitation runoff. Often right after a heavy rainfall, we'll see those bacteria levels higher, and then a few sunny days will help resolve that. So we're happy that folks are able to go back out and safely recreate on the water. We are working with our colleagues at Maryland Department of the Environment and DC Water to implement some sediment testing so that we will have some data to share with folks as they walk through areas that they may have concerns are contaminated. So hopefully we'll have updates on that in the near future weeks.
Okay. Any questions? Judith, your hand went up, it went down. I was so excited, and then sadly, I don't know. So. JLE.
Hello. I have a question that is maybe for Dr. Stoddard or maybe for Dr. Bridgers. I'm not really sure. But yesterday, the Attorney General's Office of Maryland released some body-worn camera footage of an interaction between a man from Silver Spring and Montgomery County police officers who were called to respond there for a mental health emergency. I'm curious. I spoke to Montgomery County Police and they said they weren't sure, but they didn't think there were any mobile crisis team members responding to that incident. And I was just curious if you could explain whether there were any mobile crisis team members, or if not, why not? The incident was on the 15th of December, in case you need.
I can start. First off, obviously, this is still undergoing investigation. I don't actually know the answer to whether there would have been on the 15th or not. The only thing I can say is it's important to recognize when there is an emergency petition that still has to be effectuated by a police officer. And so in a case where I don't want to go too far down this road, but for example, if this was a suspicion of a controlled dangerous substance and there were an emergency petition involved, it might be a police-led response. I don't know. I actually don't know the specifics on this case. We could certainly. I'll both consult with the lawyers to make sure we can say something about this, but also provide additional information if we can. But obviously, I just want to make clear that there are certain situations where it might, depending on the nature of the call for service, it might not have been warranted. And so right. I'll let Dr. Bridgers, you want to fill in?
Yeah, no, I agree, Dr. Stoddard. I think it's just that even when our mobile crisis outreach teams are called and or deployed, December is a while back, so I would have to follow up and get the information as Dr. Stoddard indicated. But again, we don't intervene. We don't actually engage until the police come on site. So that would include part of the investigation. And then if there's any other legal matters, we would have to adjudicate it accordingly. So it's a great question. I just don't have the information. I would have to follow up with our behavioral health and crisis services chief just to see if there's any information that we could share.
All right. Yeah, great. If you guys could just maybe get back to me later today offline, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
And look for information that I believe our police department will be issuing too.
Yes, I did hear they're planning to release some other information later today.
All right. Any other questions? All right, everyone, enjoy, if you have the chance with your families over spring break through MCPS, enjoy all the things that are going to be happening around our county and around our region, starting this weekend and running all the way through and culminating with the amazing 250th anniversary of Montgomery County on September 6th. So really, between now and September 6th, lots of excitement going on. As you know, I'm sure on September 6th, the eyes of the world will focus on Montgomery County for our 250th anniversary. Okay, it's so hard when no one laughs. I don't even see Dr. Bridgers and Dr. Stoddard smile. I guess maybe if I was saying something funny, they would. So with that, thank you all very much and enjoy the rest of your day.